How to stay in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So many people run into this issue where they wonder how to maintain the feeling of the wish fulfilled. That is the feeling you would have if your desire were already fulfilled, if you were already the version of yourself that you desire to be. How do you take that from a visualization, affirmation, scripting, whatever technique you use to get into the feeling, and then live in it, right? Living in the end, as Neville Goddard, my favorite manifestation teacher, taught. So I want to give you some tips today on how to make that state natural, and also how you should view that state in order to make it a priority, right? Make it your priority to make that state the mental attitude, the body of beliefs to which you return most constantly. That would be your dwelling place, right? Wherever we find ourselves most often thinking from, not thinking of, but thinking from, that is your dwelling place, and that's what's externalized in your world. So while it may be helpful to spend a few minutes visualizing, affirming, scripting, but then you go back to your normal life, it's all about the amount of time that you spend in the wish fulfilled, right? You want it to be the dominant state. If you ask yourself honestly, is this my dominant state? Am I more often than not in the feeling of contentment in the present moment, in satisfaction instead of desiring, right? In joy or enjoyment instead of wanting, needing, desperation, etc. So that's especially big for a lot of people who are wondering why their manifestation hasn't come yet. If you really look honestly at your most constant state of consciousness, is it actually that loyal? Or are you abiding in fear, worry, doubt, or impatience? If so, then that's what you need to fix. But in order to make this more easy, more effortless, first get clear, right? Get completely clear on the attitude of mind you would have, the body of beliefs you would have, who you would be, how you would think, feel, act if you really were the person you desire to be, or if you had that thing you desired to have, right? And then make it natural. Don't make it some super extreme, hyped up excitement which is not maintainable. Of course, you may have that in the initial moment, but like anything else in the world, once you have it and it's been yours for a while, maybe a week, a month, a year, yes, you have it. Yes, you're thankful, but it's not extreme anymore. It wouldn't make sense to be in a constant state of excitement, right? So think about anything in your life that you wanted really badly, and then you got it, and then after a while, it wasn't really a big deal, right? That's how you want to make it natural, right? It's not a big deal. Of course, it's not a big deal to you because you're literally God. Why would it be such a big deal for you to have what you want? Of course, you have it. You're God, creator, source of your whole entire life experience. So nothing is out of your reach. Nothing should be on the pedestal. You should be on the throne of existence. And whatever you desire, you simply recognize, yes, this exists within me now, and then you accept it and you allow it to be brought to you. You don't force it, you don't effort it, you allow it to come to you. So the other thing I want to touch on is maintaining this state should not be the most difficult thing in the world. It should be something you're motivated to do. If you really truly want this thing, you will fall in love with the state of fulfillment. Fall in love with it. Like when you're in love with a person, they're constantly on your mind. You're thinking of them all the time. You could be doing anything else that doesn't involve them, and they're on your mind because you're in love. You're completely almost obsessed, right? But not in a negative way, in a positive way. You're just thinking about how wonderful that person is. But now you want to do that with a state of consciousness, right? You almost can't help yourself from returning to that state because you love it so much, right? If it doesn't mean that much to you, if you're not making it a priority, then you're not going to have that mental fortitude to continue to return to that state of consciousness. Instead, you're just going to keep staying in the same place. Maybe you'll move for a little bit at a time when you're doing your certain techniques for manifestation, and that's fine. But if you really want to see results, if you really want to change your reality as fast as possible, as fast as you're capable of course, some things do have their own time. If you're planning a trip for 2025, it's not going to happen tomorrow. That just wouldn't make sense. So know that some things do take physical time, but all that time that it does take, you shouldn't be feeling like it's far off in the future. You should be living in that mental attitude that it's already done now. And the way you do that is remembering that every time you dedicate yourself to being in that state, you are moving in the right direction, and you can congratulate yourself on that. You can be proud of yourself for that. You can be happy and content and satisfied with that, which will also help add into that feeling of the wish fulfilled, right? Wouldn't you be content? Wouldn't you be satisfied with yourself? Wouldn't you be proud of yourself if you attained whatever it is you're after? Of course you would. Or I would say you should, because that's natural, right? We love to accomplish things. That's in our nature. We are goal-oriented creatures. So when you achieve this goal, it's okay to be proud of yourself. And so I want you to dedicate yourself to it so much that you will, as Neville Goddard described it, die to your former state of consciousness. So if you're abiding in fear about, let's say, relationships, you feel like you're constantly in the same cycles, you can't get out of this loop, everything always ends the same. And so that's your constant state, but you want to be in the ideal loving marriage, then you have to fall in love with the ideal loving marriage being your reality now. Otherwise, you're going to keep thinking about that old story, thinking about past experiences that you've had, and feeling like you're identifying with it. What you identify with, what you choose the meaning of for these experiences, is going to continue to be your reality. So, are you prepared to give that up? You're going to notice whenever your mind is going down that negative path and say, no, this is not what I want any longer. I refuse to identify with it. And then you replace that by planting the seed, by assuming the state of consciousness. What's that attitude of mind? Are you excited? Are you happy? Are you joyful? Are you content? Are you present, right? Not running off into the mind away from what's going on now, but you are free to enjoy the present moment because your desire is already fulfilled. So that's something I want you to really think about. Are you prepared to really dedicate yourself to the wish fulfilled? And again, it doesn't have to be extreme. It doesn't have to be unrealistic. It doesn't have to be unattainable or something where you're ecstatic 24/7. It doesn't have to be like that. You can get ecstatic for a little while if that's okay, but don't force yourself and don't feel like you're failing or doing something wrong if you can't be ecstatic 24/7, because the truth is that's not natural. The key to successful, easy, effortless manifestation is making it natural. Stop looking at things like they're such a big deal, because that's going to make it very, very unnatural for you. And that really is the key, that state of naturalness, that state of knowing it's yours, gratitude, but it's not extreme anymore. If you want to learn to master naturalness, that is very, very key in the detachment course, which of course you do not need. You can succeed without it. Don't feel like you have to spend money you don't have. You can watch all my videos for free and definitely succeed. But if you want to speed up the process, eliminating fear, worry, doubt, impatience, and living your truth, manifesting the big things as fast, easily, effortlessly as possible, definitely check it out. I'll leave a link in the pinned comment and the description. So I'm sure you found this helpful. If you want to understand the role of positive or negative emotions in manifestation, how they can help you create your dream reality even faster than before, check out this video right here. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love you all very much, and I will see you next time. Take care.